Cybersecurity Basics, a component of the Certified Cloud Security Professional CCSP learning path. In this course, we'll address cybersecurity fundamentals, the CIA triad, governance principles, control frameworks, the cybersecurity framework, and regulatory compliance. Next slide. Okay, let's get started with cybersecurity basics. First of all, information security management aligns information security with the organizational requirements for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. This is referred to as the CIA triad. In some publications, it may be listed as AIC, availability, integrity, and confidentiality, but it's the same thing. It balances risk with security investments and return, provides oversight mechanisms for managing risks within the acceptable level for that organization. It measures effectiveness of information security performance and sets policies, procedures, standards, baselines, and guidelines. Security programs have several small and large objectives, but they are based on simple principles. The fact that assets require protection, and that protection is based on requirements of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Security is ensured through security governance, which is comprised of management practices and management oversight, and is demonstrated through compliance that could be legal or regulatory. Compliance consists of adherence to applicable legal and regulatory requirements, applicable policies, standards, procedures, and guidelines, and personal security policies, as well as asset protections, which form the baselines for security. Unintended disclosure and unauthorized modifications or destruction of an asset can affect security. You should know that cybersecurity is defined as the protection of information assets by addressing threats to information processed, stored, and transported by inter-networked information systems. It's also defined as measures taken to protect the integrity of networks, programs, and data against unauthorized access, damage, or attacks. Information security, which is designed to maintain the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data, is a subset of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity can be an important and amplifying component of an organization's overall risk management process. And just like financial and reputational risks, cybersecurity risks affect a company's bottom line when looking at the business drivers. You should also understand the differences between cybersecurity and information security. Information security deals with information regardless of its format. For example, paper, documents, digital and intellectual property, verbal or visual files, any communications regardless of media. Cybersecurity is concerned with protecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of digital assets, which can include networks, hardware, or software, information that is processed, stored, or transported by a networked information system. Confidentiality is the property that information is not disclosed to system entities like users, processes, or devices unless they have been authorized to access that information. It also includes preserving authorized restrictions on information access and disclosure, including means for protecting personal privacy and proprietary information. This is enforced using the principles of least privileges, which means that people are given just the access that they need to do their job and nothing more. It's based on the principles of need to know as well. Integrity is the property whereby an entity has not been modified in an unauthorized manner, basically guarding against improper information modification or destruction, and includes ensuring information non-repudiation and authenticity. In other words, making sure that information is processed correctly and not modified by unauthorized persons, and protecting information as it transits the network. Availability is the property of being accessible and usable upon demand by an authorized entity. According to NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, it's ensuring timely and reliable access to and use of information by authorized users. Said another way, it's ensuring that systems are up and running so that authorized persons and functions can use them when they need to. The level of security required to accomplish this principle differs per company because each has its own unique combination of business and security goals and requirements. Also, Vulnerabilities and risks are evaluated based on their threats against one or more of the CIA triad components. Said another way, all security control mechanisms and safeguards are implemented to provide one or more of these principles, and all risks, threats, and vulnerabilities are measured for their potential capability to compromise one or all of the CIA principles. The three opposites of the CIA goals are known as DAD or DAD. Disclosure is the opposite of confidentiality, keeping in mind that confidentiality is ensuring that only those authorized users get to see the information. Disclosure becomes the opposite of that. Alteration is the opposite of integrity. Integrity ensures that the information has not been modified in an unauthorized way, and alteration is basically modifying the information in any way. Destruction is the opposite of availability. Availability ensures that the applications are up and available when they need to be used, and if they're destroyed, they then become unavailable. So that becomes the opposite of availability. So, how do we ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability? Confidentiality can be achieved using encryption, for example. Integrity can be achieved by checksums, hashes, digital signatures, or even separation of duties. And availability can be achieved by implementing backups, remote sites, clustering, or different redundant array of independent disks known as RAID levels. Okay, in summary, confidentiality is all about making sure that only those authorized users and processes have access to the systems and information. Integrity makes sure that the systems or information is not changed in an unauthorized manner by either an authorized or unauthorized individual. And availability is all about making sure that those authorized users and processes can have access to the information and systems when they need them.